Williamson County's newest hires, death investigators, have been on the job for 6 months now. It was a solution to the growing population boom and complex death cases since the county has no medical examiner of its own.
As KXAN investigators have highlighted for more than a year now, the hires were brought on to help the Justice of the Peace judges who determine cause and manner of death on top of juggling court dockets.
And as Arzo Dos explains, the judges say they're not seeing the relief they expected yet.
Meet Williamson County's new death investigators. Up until late last year, the job didn't exist. Now the county has 4.
We're kind of the eyes and the ears for the judges. So, I'm going to collect and get whatever information I can get to provide it to the Justice of the Peace so that way they can make the best decision for our county.
Each of the county's 4 Justice of the Peace judges was assigned a death investigator to help take death calls, go to scenes, and prepare reports, including requesting medical records and talking to families and law enforcement. Before they got the jobs, it all fell to the judges, on top of hearing cases in their courtrooms.
We filter those calls and we take down information, we relay it to the judges, and then the judges ultimately decide whether a person needs an autopsy or not. And then the judges will sign the death certificates.
Valerie Alvarez works with Justice of the Peace for Precinct 2, Judge Angela Williams. She says on a busy week, they've had up to 35 death cases across the county.
If we stay current with what the investigators have done since they started about mid-January as a team, we'll have about a 25% increase this year as we finish out calendar year 25 than we had in calendar year 24. And that's a huge number. So you're looking at approximately 1,500 inquests that they would assist with.
Rebecca Clemens oversees the Death Inquest Investigator Unit. She says what makes the team unique is that they all have forensic experience and have worked at a medical examiner's office.
It's a very in-depth investigation that's being done, and so we're able to provide answers to those families and those citizens that are having one of the worst days of their life whenever they lose a loved one.
Clemens says the death investigators bridge a gap until the county establishes its own medical examiner's office. It's what the judges have long been pushing for as they tackled growing court dockets and complex death cases. We asked each of them about the addition of death investigators. In a joint statement, they wrote in part, "We had hoped to see a meaningful reduction in the time judges must devote to inquest-related duties. The intent was to allow us more time to focus on our court dockets, including civil and criminal cases, truancy, and administrative cases, all essential to maintaining the rule of law in our communities. Unfortunately, that goal has not been realized." The judges say despite the addition of the investigative staff, the time demands related to death inquests has not decreased. They added, "We remain committed to working collaboratively with county leadership to pursue a long-term sustainable model." They say that could include a medical examiner's office or restructuring the current death investigator program. What have been some of the challenges and how has the county overcome them?
You're going to have a challenge when you create a new program, and so there's always going to be a lot of things to vet out. Every week we have a lot of conversations, we have a lot of meetings. As the training is done, they start to learn Williamson County better, they start to learn kind of who to contact when and different facilities and everything like that. All the stuff outside of the actual investigative piece, then I think it's going to flow more seamlessly.
Clemens says her hope is for the death investigators to be a model for other counties in a similar situation.
A lot of the learning curve came from learning the Justice of the Peace system and how they do things and incorporating what we do and meshing it all together.
So when could Williamson County establish its own medical examiner's office? I'm told the county has locked in this location here in North Austin, right off of 183, but it's still in the early stages, and Commissioner's Court has not yet discussed a timeline. Arzo Dos, KXAN investigates.
And the judges have told Arzo that since the county covers autopsy costs, it's already adding up financially. They can request autopsies from either a local private forensics firm or in a neighboring Travis County.
And Texas law requires counties to establish a medical examiner's office when the population hits 2.5 million, but a county commissioner's court may create one at any time. The last legislative session, efforts were underway to establish more medical examiner offices, and those efforts came after KXAN's A Hanging on Backbone Creek investigation. Our reports revealed that only 14 out of 254 counties have medical examiner offices. And after our question, State Representative Rafael Anchias from the Dallas area plans to keep pushing for an interim study to look at how Texas can lure more medical examiners during a time when there is a nationwide shortage.
You can catch up on our more than year-long coverage of this issue online right now and explore A Hanging on Backbone Creek, the project highlighting the push for counties across the state to establish medical examiners' offices. Just look for the button in the investigative section of KXAN.com.